What's up? Bobo here with BrassReel Brothers and Andrew the actor.
Yo, yo, yo!
Yeah, I told you you'd be seeing a lot of him. It's going to be us now, a lot of us. Obviously, I'm still going to be doing my reviews and stuff like that, but for the most part, any sort of discussions or anything like that, it's going to be old Drewski right here. So, man, you guys know Drew. It's my partner in crime for Late Court, our production company, Full Circle Films. So, what's going on, brother?
That's right, man. Hey, I figured if I can come in here to correct some of your lies that you tell about Star Wars, then I'm just kidding. You probably know more than I do.
No, I think actually that's one of the things I think we're probably equally versed on.
Well, we both have an equal passion about Star Wars, and we both have the same feelings when it comes to what Disney is doing to Star Wars.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah.
I'm not fully disappointed with Disney Star Wars stuff, but I'm not fully pleased with it either.
No. Oh, yeah. See, the same. It's just it's a matter of rushing things out over and over and over again because it's Disney and they just want subscribers. They want people to watch this stuff, and they're just not. They're just. It's like the studio meddling that you see in a lot of films, or we got to get a sequel out. We got to get a sequel out. It's like, well, you know what? Hold on now.
And I feel like it shows with all the Star Wars stuff that compared to when you watch the original three, everybody that watched those growing up, first off, they were milestones in cinema, just straight up. Like no movies existed like that when those movies came out. But then the ownership that people took over that as far as fans, and it was a part of their lives. And so there were decades where those movies existed, and that was it. 2 decades essentially where it was like these movies are the holy grail. And then you have the prequels come out, and that's where the more commercial side started to come in. Yeah. Now, you did have commercial side to Star Wars prior to that, but it still was, there was not a bad thing to be said about Star Wars until the prequels. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, so look, we got a buddy joining us right now. We got our boy Clint, and I called him Clinto Darko on here, and that's just a long reason behind that. But Clint, what up, dog?
Oh,
what's up, guys, man? I heard you talking about the prequels right there, bro. All right, let me just jump in right away. Is that not the best? Like watching that 5-minute montage made the prequels look like the greatest thing that had ever been produced ever. Am I wrong?
Oh, you're 100% right, dog.
Oh yeah, that's
100% right.
It made me want to go rewatch them. Like, wait, no. I've seen all this stuff.
No, I can't be an Attack of the Clones bored again, man. Like that's never gonna happen again in life. Like,
look, I think Attack of the Clones is way better than Phantom. Now, the ending scene with Darth Maul saves Phantom, no question it does.
There's a lot of good in Phantom, man. There's a lot of good. It's underrated.
Really?
Okay.
Explain it. Why you talk about Jar Jar Binks?
Lisa Clint love with the Phantom.
No. Man, the whole world is so immersive. Like when they first go down to look at those annoying creatures, the world that Lucas builds out.
They're really
it's really
visually
cool
they're
movie.
all pretty great. Visually, they're all really beautiful. They really are. I mean, they're still, if you think about how long ago they were made and those cities looked that good, CG based, I mean, that was really impressive. No, I'm not going to take that away from it. And I do also think that over time, the prequels have gotten better in my eyes.
Yeah, well, because this last trilogy was shit, so it made the prequels look great.
Whoa. Dude, Kylo Ren has the best character arc in all of Star Wars.
No, that's not true. But I do think that he does. I do think he has a good character arc, but it's not the best in the entire saga. But going back,
give me the one that's better.
Well, Darth Vader, man.
No, bro.
You end up realizing there is good in him, just like they said all along.
How about the best?
I'm a Fish Guy fan. Chewie has got the best arc. Okay.
All right.
I will go back to Phantom Menace and say that the Darth Maul Saber fight is still probably one of the best ones in all of canon films.
Beautiful. And also any moments that Darth Maul is in that movie, it's awesome. And there are a lot of, Ewan McGregor, when I first heard him talk, it was literally like I was watching a young Alec Guinness. I mean, nobody else could have nailed that role better than him. Qui-Gon Jinn, loved it. I just couldn't believe that I lost him so soon.
I know. I hope that is he going to show up here? Do we know that? Are we thinking that?
Well, we were just talking about how, and we're going to get into these 2 episodes here in a minute, but like if people die in this universe, Andrew was like, well, is that really it though? Is like, because Darth Vader, I mean, they put that motherfucker back together. So
yeah, and Darth Maul,
he got cut in half.
He got cut in half. But if you watch the Rebels show, the animated series, he's alive with mechanical leg.
And he's at the end of Solo. Remember, he's the
yeah. They tried to bring him back in these live action films. It just didn't work well because Solo was bombed so bad.
They put him in the. I still think we're going to see more. We're going to see a live action Darth Maul at some point again. I do, just because the character's too loved.
All right, guys. I know y'all love film, right? That's why we're here, because you love film. So like,
I think it's okay.
TV. It's all right. It kind of bleeds together here, though, right? So I want to ask you guys a question. When you hit play, and we got through the beginning montage, and we're sitting there, and you're watching the Obi-Wan Kenobi show, like it really hits you, and you see this like scene with all the younglings, and they're like fleeing down. And by the way, one of those younglings is totally third sister. I'm just saying, I'm calling that now. But like,
that's a good theory.
Yes, and I think that the reason that she hates Obi-Wan so much is because she blames him for her life of torture post the youngling extermination. That's my theory currently.
Good theory.
But how amped were you? Because I sat there and I was like, this is going to be the Steph Curry of streaming shows.
You and your Steph Curry comments.
He's been that.
I had to throw that in there.
It used to be LeBron James. Now it's Steph Curry.
So I definitely was loving the way it felt completely connected to the end of Revenge of the Sith. Like it felt like I saw the Revenge of the Sith and all that shit went down. And now this is what's going on too on at the same time. And it just felt good. Like,
well, it's not the same time though. I mean, it's obviously 10 years later.
No, I'm talking about the younglings.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about he's talking about the transition from seeing that montage of the prequels, and then you get the first minutes of new show.
And it's a Jedi protecting kids. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And that was them protecting the younglings, which I thought Anakin was going to come in there and just kill them all. But
well, and I honestly think that's just, I think Anakin was like down the hall. I think that's what that scene was.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perhaps.
Yeah. But I don't really think Mandalorian's all that great. It's not bad. It's got plenty of great moments. I think Boba Fett was a step down. This is what I've been wanting though. Even I do have some complaints, but they're nitpicks. They're not complaints. They're just like, this could have been. But as a whole, I feel like I'm watching Star Wars.
What are your complaints, man? Get those out.
Well, so far, and everybody, if you're watching this is spoiler talk. Straight up, we're talking about episode 1 and 2. So it says it on the thumbnails. So you can't talk about episode 1 and 2 without really talking about the episodes. So just throwing that out. But young Leia is in this. And
what a brat.
I felt she was a little too Disney. I felt she was a little too bubbly. I would have preferred a Leia that was just a little bit more, not quite as excited like a normal 5 or 6 year old would be, because she's actually not a normal 5 and 6 year old.
No, she's actually a 10-year-old. She's actually 10 years old, by the way.
What I'm saying, what you know what I mean. What I'm pointing to is that she was just a little too, I don't know. I would have liked her to be not so like. Look,
she seemed to be very rebellious. Which she seemed to be very rebellious at the age of 10. When you see adult Leia, she's she's queen, she's reserved, and so
she's
it's kind
princess.
of like she's princess. So I guess in a way maybe I would expected. I guess I expected a little bit more of a her realizing that she is of royalty, but they do point out she has that fight with her cousin, and her cousin's reminding her that you're not actually one of us, and then she embarrasses him, and then she's forced to apologize, and she's like, I'd rather run away, or whatever that she says.
All stuff we didn't need to see.
Yeah, I mean, you can argue that, sure, but I think it is giving you a little bit of a background into her growing up, as well as Luke. And maybe that's the last you see of her, and that's it. And then it becomes like well, thank you for not, elongating that because we don't need to see all about Leia and her bratty, ways. And the thing that bothered me the most about Leia was really in episode 2, whenever she, which I guess you really only see in episode 2. I don't really remember.
But she's trying to run away and stuff.
Yeah, when she's running away on that other planet, she's gotten kidnapped. And then she's getting away from Obi-Wan, and there were moments where she's like, just grab her, dude. Just grab her. Why are you letting her run away from you? Just grab her already. There were moments that I just felt it was just like it's almost like you're letting this kid run away from you. Or you're letting this kid run all over you. Just grab her already and be done with it. That was a little annoying.
Tap the brakes real quick, and let's see what you didn't see. All right, let's appreciate this on a different level. First of all, it's still Star Wars. You have to have the kids. The kids still have to have somebody to root for, and so that's why that character exists. Just like Ewoks existed for us, just like Jar Jar Binks existed for our little brothers. That's
no. Look. She's still. I'm not saying take Leia out of it. I'm just talking about her disposition was just a little too bubbly for the Leia character, in my opinion. I don't think Leia is like that. Well, I think Leia's human nature. I think Leia's human nature. She has to be
sullied. Isn't this what will be the thing that sullies her, makes her more reserved because of this experience right here? And then you have to something else. Okay, when you were sitting there talking about her running away, evidently, I'm going to drop an Easter egg on YouTube that y'all did not notice. So when she runs away and he finally catches her and he stands in front of her, he leans down in the exact same pose that Carrie Fisher leaned down in when she was addressing Obi-Wan, saying she needs her help out of R2-D2, with the same blue light hitting him that was hitting her.
Oh.
Well, that's not an Easter egg. That's just a way that they shot it. I mean,
it is totally an Easter egg.
Easter egg is like showing you something that's going to happen later. I guess you could call that, but we know it's happening. I guess it's an Easter egg. I'd say it's more of an homage.
I think that's
an homage. And I noticed, I saw Gungeons written 3 or 4 times in that Hong Kong-based city. I liked how. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say one thing that kind of took me out of this, though, is Flea and his crew.
Yeah,
they didn't belong. But the way they looked, they didn't belong in even when we've seen in other Star Wars movies, depending on different planets and stuff. The ragged people and everything, they look like they still are in the universe of Star Wars. These guys look straight out of a 90s movie.
Bro, like I
just didn't think that
hearing him not saying McFly killed me because it was the same character.
Back to the Future too.
Yes, like, come on, McFly. Like I kept waiting for that. Like him to look at her and be like, "Come on, Leia."
Oh yeah,
yeah. No, it definitely. I mean, I understood that you got to get some guys in there to kidnap her and all that stuff, but that's another thing too. Like, I feel like what I was wanting from this, and first off, let me just preface it. I love it so far. I'm very happy with it, but I was really hoping that they were going to do like a 6-hour movie cut into 6 parts. But this is going the show formula. It feels episodic, kind of with the like, oh, we need you to save Leia. Like, I didn't even think Leia was going to be in this, and I honestly didn't really need her to, and I don't need Luke to be a part of it. I like the fact that Luke's on the sidelines and all that. I really wanted this to be Obi, like his solo thing, and the fact that they're involving all these other side plot lines. I understand why they're doing it, but I was just hoping that we were going to get this really full on, like in depth, like I don't know.
I think there's a chance going forward that we really don't see much more about the kids because it's it's being revealed at the end of episode 2 that Obi-Wan did not realize that Anakin survived the lava.
Right.
And I think it's now going to come out. I think going forward, these next couple episodes, because it's only a 6-episode series. I think it's going to be revealed more and focus more on Obi-Wan trying to make sure he doesn't get caught, or the ultimate showdown between him and Vader. And I think this is just something they needed to put in there to kind of show what his life is like right now and what they had to do to get him out of the shadows. And from then on, it is, I have a strong feeling that from here on, now that he's revealed himself out of the shadows, it is going to be an all-out search for Obi-Wan, and Obi-Wan trying to escape his fate or escape a showdown.
That's the coolest part, man. Is like somebody texted me the next day and they were like, "Clint, what'd you think?" I go, "Bro, like they were like, give me a like motivation to watch it because they didn't enjoy Boba Fett very much, and so they were like, get me back into this,
imagine
make me
why.
watch this, right?" And so I told him, I was like, "Okay, have you ever wondered why Princess Leia knew to put the video message in R2-D2 to ask for Obi-Wan? Because that's the same story as the like, holy shit, you fucked me up this bad retribution story from Darth Vader. Those tie together.
There it is.
So dope, bro.
So yeah, that's a great point, Clint, because if it wasn't for him coming out of the shadows to save her and her realizing, oh my God, you really are Jedi, she would not even bother knowing who Obi-Wan Kenobi is when it comes to New Hope. So even if that is the only time she ever sees him, from here on out, she remembers him forever.
Yeah, and again, like I said, even though I would have preferred a solo story kind of thing, I don't mind that Leia's in there. I just kind of didn't just like how bubbly she was. But it's fine. It's a nitpick. Like I said, it's not tarnishing the show for me. I still think that the idea that they're connecting everything with Obi-Wan being out there, it's all very familiar. I like that he's got the little bit of the relationship with the what do they call the hooded guys that selling him the trinkets and everything and stealing his parts?
The Jabberwockies or whatever?
The Jawas.
Oh yeah, the Jawas. That was so cool. He was like living with a Jawa and just like dealing with him every day. That was actually kind of cool.
Yeah, there was something else that I was going to say though and mention. You were talking about Leia and them meeting and them. Oh yeah, so. Are you guys thinking that that's just R2 underneath as his alarm system?
Oh, dude, it totally is. Did you not notice that?
Well, absolutely, no, I did. But they're not.
He's underground.
Yeah, it just keeps coming up. I'm just saying. Obviously, I noticed it, but I just wanted to clarify that you guys are thinking that as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. The thing I worry about.
So is Leia going to record? Is she going to meet R2 in this?
Oh man, that's a good.
She's not. Yeah.
Well, I don't know if she has to. I mean, because this is 10 years before A New Hope, and is it going to end right? Is it going to flash forward and end right where A New Hope begins, or is it just going to be a quick segment of, 2 years of Obi-Wan's life, and having a showdown with Darth Vader that the ultimate rematch, and then he goes back to being a recluse and hiding out, and another 10 years.
That's not what I'm hoping for at all.
Another 10 years passes, and that's when A New Hope picks up.
See, what I'm hoping for is this is like, at the end of this, like, Obi-Wan barely survives, and like
that's what
Vader leaves him, and Vader leaves him, for death, and then Obi-Wan looks up and goes, "I'm coming for you," and like we get Obi-Wan season 2, The Reckoning, in 6 months, bro. That's my dream.
Yeah. And this time he's for real.
I've been watching so many horror movies, like
out of the shadows comes Obi-Wan Kenobi. You thought he was dead.
Yeah.
No, man. I really think
Plagueis the Wise trains
I really think this is meant to be just exactly what it is, which is 6 episodes of Obi-Wan's life post Revenge of the Sith, and then I think that. Bobby and I had a discussion about this earlier. I think there's going to be a showdown of him and Darth Vader that was revealed from Kathleen Kennedy, the executive.
Yeah, that's the only reason half of us are watching the show.
And so there's going to be another rematch, and I think perhaps Vader thinks he gets the best of Obi-Wan in this one, thinking maybe he left him for dead, just like Obi-Wan thought he left him for dead, and whatever it is that happens forces Obi-Wan to go into a darker recluse, and that's why he ages so fucking well, or ages so bad from this into A New Hope.
Yeah,
and that's, I'm just being funny because it's obviously a different older actor that plays him in A New Hope.
Well, yeah, but it's like it's funny. Like end of Dark Phoenix, you got James McAvoy in there, and Dark Phoenix takes place in the late 80s, the early 90s, mid 90s, and you're just like, so you're supposed to tell me in 6 years or so this guy's going to look like Patrick Stewart?
Yeah. You need to tell me that. You mean 10 years after this Obi-Wan series is now it's Alec McGinnis? Like, damn.
Yeah,
man. Vader don't know.
Vader really did some damage this time.
It's not even it's not the damage he does. It's the spice addiction that comes after.
Oh, that's right. There's going to be a Dune tie-in. Straight Dune tie-in.
Bro,
you know what's funny,
and also, that was big. That's the first time we've seen spice used. We actually saw the effects of spice.
Yeah, like
what
it did. Man. Yeah, that's interesting. You're right about that. And they were all like flipping out and just chilling out and tweaking / whatever they were doing.
Oh, man.
Now, do you think, we were talking about this earlier, do you think that Anakin / Vader considers himself not, like, is he after Anakin or after Obi-Wan? Like, because we in A New Hope, he says, I was the learner. And now, and you were what does he say, Andrew?
Well, when he said, when they first face each other in A New Hope, he says, we meet again at last. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Okay. And he says, no, only a master of evil, Darth. So that, I worry that line is not going to match up if actually the last time we met, you fucking kicked his ass.
Bro, I mean.
No, does Anakin still consider himself a learner to Obi-Wan since Obi-Wan beat him the last time they were together?
Probably. And does he beats him? Yeah.
So does Obi-Wan beat him again in this?
Oh my gosh, you're saying that we have like a Fraser Ali type thing where
I'm just
the first
saying,
2 rounds go to
if
Ali.
He still considers himself a learner in A New Hope.
That's interesting.
Is they're not dumb enough to just bypass that. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, we already have several loopholes, and this is going to open up the largest loophole, or like in Star Wars history, or plot hole rather. No, I mean, and that's going to be the where it's already happened. It was cemented after the second episode, and that's when Obi-Wan tells Yoda that boy's our last hope, and Yoda goes, "There is another." Obi-Wan should have known that. He saved her, for God's sake,
Right.
Well, that was a whole discussion of, well, was Yoda talking about Leia or was Yoda talking about Rey?
That's
I gotta go.
Yeah. All right, guys, what we're gonna call it. Thanks for joining.
Dude, I love the prequel. I love the sequel trilogy, man. Like, the third one sucks, but dude, The Last Jedi is one of my favorite movies.
I think Last Jedi is you and me are on the same boat with that one. A lot of people don't like it. I think, Andrew, you're just fine with it.
I mean, the more I talk about it, the more I'm okay with it. But at first, I thought this is trash. This is not at all where I believe wholeheartedly that Last Jedi is not where J.J. Abrams had in mind of taking it. And Rian Johnson was like, I'm going to do this.
Did J.J. Abrams have a plan?
Have you seen a lot of J.J. Abrams movies? Does he ever seem like he has any idea where he's going?
Star Trek 1, 2, and 3, you could literally watch them in any order, and it obviously you could be like, oh, I saw Wrath of Khan or Into Darkness. It's like, you haven't seen the first one? No, and you watch the first one, it's like, oh, cool, this is an origin story. But like, you don't have to watch them. There's no connective, so there's nothing that happens in Beyond that's like, that ties them all together. Beyond's just a third Star Trek movie. You know what I mean?
They're like episodes in a series.
Even though it's great, it's just another movie.
I just mean if I was tasking you, Clint, with writing a screenplay or a story based on something that's already existed, and I'm asking you to continue it, and you only write one chapter, and then somebody else does chapter 2, you can't tell me that you would not read that chapter 2 and be like, that's not where I thought it was going to go.
Well, I mean, and that, again, this is Disney's fault because they were like, Ryan,
it's all Disney.
Ryan, here you go, do that. At least Marvel, when they hire people for movies, they're like, all right, you can have these cool things, but you have to remain in these parameters of storytelling.
That's what I don't understand. That's what bothered me the most, okay? Because I think that The Force Awakens was a phenomenal movie theater experience, one of the best ones I've ever had.
Oh, absolutely.
And then The Last Jedi, the last 40 minutes of The Last Jedi are the best shot 40 minutes in Star Wars, all Star Wars canon. It's also the most intense. It's the coolest. It's my favorite 40 minutes in Star Wars, except for I mean, there's the scene at the end of Rogue One where Vader's coming through the hallway. I mean, that's maybe my favorite scene. But
that's definitely awesome.
Or when Luke comes through in the end of Mandalorian season 2. I mean, that's really dope, dude. You don't have to like that show to love that minute. Like,
no, that was definitely cool. It just would have been better if they would have made it not. If you couldn't have just seen that it was CG'd.
You know?
But that's how I feel about Phantom Menace. You don't have to like the movie to love that saber battle with Darth Maul.
Oh, for sure.
Well, I mean, because of that saber battle with Darth Maul and the Star Wars, I still like the movie.
It's just the problem is that where he left it, where Rian Johnson left it, was perfect because you literally had a chance to blow Star Wars up into a place we hadn't seen before, where there's this whole new group of Force-sensitive people that we could go after, and we could get away from the Skywalkers and like show that the galaxy, that's a long time ago, far, far away, actually has more than one incestual family running the Force gamut. And like that would have been amazing. But like, no, they're like, they
kind of like
the internet.
Tonight the Old Republic. Like, what was so great about that is it had nothing to do with Skywalker.
Exactly, and which is an amazing game. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one of my
favorite
video games.
They're doing a new Knights of the Republic for the next gen consoles and everything.
Really?
I'm so there for that. Anyways, yeah.
Well, I mean, there's Jedi introduced throughout the entire 1, 2, and 3 prequels, where it's just kind of like, well, I mean, where'd these people come from? Where
they were all killed in Order 66.
Yeah, it's not. Well, no, I just mean like it's not supposed to be just a Skywalker / Palpatine type bloodline where you can only
tell that to J.J. Abrams.
Yeah, no shit. He couldn't run away.
J.J. Abrams, exactly. They were like, by the way, Colin Trevorrow wrote this amazing script. What do you think of it, J.J.? He was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through The Last Jedi and he marked out everything that the fans didn't like and then was like, it'd be great if Rey and Kylo Ren developed a love interest. And
let's have him kiss at the end and then he dies.
That's the ticket. That's the ticket.
And I didn't like the healing introduction either. I didn't like the fact that like we keep finding out about all these things that they could do that would have come in so fucking handy at other points in other movies. Like the healing. That would have really come in handy other times.
Oh, well, speaking of the healing thing, who's to say that going back to the Obi-Wan series, who's to say that the Grand Inquisitor who just got stabbed at the end of episode 2 is dead? I mean, there's a healing process that these Jedi have now. And I mean, they saved Vader's life by putting him, making him half machine. So the fact that he got stabbed by Reva at the end of episode 2, I would not rule out that just means that he's dead. And if it does, and see, listen, I never watched. I'm afraid to admit this. I never watched the Star Wars Rebels animated series. I didn't realize when that was a popular thing that in the future they would be pulling characters from that and storylines from that to create live action TV shows. That now I'm just like, well, shit, I guess I should watch this stuff. But I do know that the Grand Inquisitor did not die by the hand of Reva in the
You're right.
Well, and a lot of it, you remember, Rebels came after Clone Wars. Clone Wars is actually the majority of more of it where it came from. Rebels was a spinoff of Clone Wars.
Right.
So most of this stuff is actually Clone Wars based.
Right, and you're right. He can't be dead. It's literally impossible for him to be dead in the current storyline. But so we know that. But like, speaking of the Inquisitors, how well did they nail those guys, man? Like, I thought they killed them.
Yeah, they're super dope. Let me find my little shot of it. Well, first off, I think that she's awesome. I'm like big fan of her immediately. I like her vibe. I was telling him that I was really happy with how she wasn't trying to be like a cool girl and woman power or anything like that. She was like straight up, I'm fucking on the dark side. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I just love her attitude. I was trying to find a picture of all three of them standing together, but I couldn't find it.
Man,
but I love her character. I think she's fantastic. What about this guy?
You gotta love the return of Han. Exactly. Like Justice for Han. Like, I wonder if this is going to turn into a Justice for Han Solo.
What do you mean by that?
The guy who plays one of the Inquisitors is Han from the Fast and the Furious series.
Oh, I thought you were saying Han Solo.
No, justice for
You're
Han,
talking
like
about
the
Star
real
Wars
Han.
here. Look, we're talking about Star Wars and you say justice for Han.
Yeah, you have
No.
to think we're going to be thinking you're talking about Han Solo.
I'm not. The most
Okay,
between
exactly.
the two
So
famous
the thing
Hans.
is I can marry those two things though and
Yeah,
get justice for Han Solo.
that doesn't work. This is a galaxy far, far away, Clint. Get with it.
Well, first off, didn't you?
Dude, do you not
see?
know how fast
Didn't you see
this guy
Fast
can
and
cover a
Furious
quarter
9?
mile?
Didn't you see he was in 9? Han's
I
in 9.
know. Oh, I know he is, bro. And I'm just saying that, like, during somehow I would just
Here we go. There they are.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man. God, they look so cool. Like the shots of the shadow with when the ship was entering the city, like the shadow that was like laid out over the ground. Like, I mean, the cinematography in this show is off the chain. Please tell me y'all agree with that.
Oh, I do.
Oh yeah. I liked the cinematography and Boba Fett and Mandalorian and all of it. I really did. You know, I think they did a great job of making you feel like you were in the Star Wars world. The Boba Fett series was just boring. Because I'm sorry, I've said this out loud before. Boba Fett is a boring character. He's a boring character, and they realized this early on, and they're like, "We have to do something because this is not working." We'll have an entire episode of Boba Fett featuring Mandalorian and Baby Yoda.
Okay, so since we're on that topic, I have to put this comment out there. Our boy Kodski. He says Mondo is awesome because we were talking about the show. So, Cody, are you saying you like Mandalorian? Like you think it's a great show?
You know, I don't disagree. I think Mando is awesome. I'm talking about Boba Fett. The Boba Fett series was not cool.
Right. Okay, but
They had to bring
Mandalorian and Baby Yoda in an entire episode of Boba Fett to fix that.
It's no different than Captain America: Civil War, where they turned it into Avengers 2.5. That's what Book of Boba Fett became, was Mando 2.5.
Well, and I also didn't think it was a necessary show to make. Like they were just doing it for jumping on the wagon. Oh, here we go, %% on Mando.
What do you think
Mando's
about what did you think about when y'all's feelings when Obi-Wan reached out and used the Force for the first time in the series?
Oh, yeah,
beautiful.
We were talking about that earlier.
Beautiful.
So it's almost as if Obi-Wan has he hasn't used the Force in 10 years because he's been a recluse. So it's almost as if the Force has been dormant in him, and it took a lot out of him to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is that what you got out of it? Is that
Force? Absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have worded it better myself.
Which is kind of weird. I mean, I never thought that not using the Force would make it dormant, and now it's taken so much out of you to use it. But I mean, I guess that's what they're going for. You know?
I guess so. I mean,
are you putting a condom on my mic?
Yeah. Well, there was just a little popping, little popping going on. Let's see how that works now. How's that now? Let's talk in there.
Well, I was saying,
say poop.
Pop poop.
Yeah, that's better. So yeah, I was listening to what you were saying though about the Force.
Yeah, it was just like it's almost like the Force has been dormant in him for 10 years, and having to finally use it took so much out of him. And I never knew that was a thing. I guess it is. But also, so there's that scene where Reva throws that knife, and she's just knowing that if there's a Jedi in the room, he's going to stop that knife. So you see him, this guy doing that. So is there never a time where a Jedi can be so powerful that they don't have to use their hands to do that? I just kind of wonder that.
Every time you see him like fully moving things, I think they have to use their hands, because even if you see Yoda and the Emperor when they're fighting, they're pulling those big things down and slinging them like that.
When Yoda is trying to lift his X-wing out of the river, out of the swamp in Empire, he's having to do this. But when Luke is fighting Vader in Empire, and all those pipes and everything start coming off the walls, Vader is just standing here like this.
I'd have to
rewatch. Do we even know who moved those? Was it Palpatine who was doing that though?
No, man, I'm talking about in Empire.
I know what you're talking about.
In Empire, before he takes his hand off.
That's right. Okay, in Empire, yeah.
In Empire, before he takes his hand off.
In the hallway.
In that hallway looking area, Vader.
And it's all funny looking. It's all.
Yeah. and he's like swinging like he doesn't know what he's trying to hit, and Vader just kind of rests his saber down, and he's not doing any of this sort of stuff.
You know what? I think you just brought up the reason that we can't look too deep into Star Wars.
Bullshit.
No,
it's like
you just brought up the most accurate thing, which is that when Luke goes to face Vader, on a scale of 1 to 10 Jedi greatness, for the eyeball test, he's like a -11. Like, I mean, Luke in The Mandalorian, the end of season 2, bro.
That's like 20.
He's like peak Tiger Woods on the PGA Tour.
Well, that's because he just defeated a Sith Lord, so it's like it does something to his powers.
Okay, so to go back real quick though, we were talking
strike
about
me down.
Strike me down. So it's just like he was talking about the Force, like it going dormant and everything like that. Don't they refer to the Force as like this sort of this living thing, not a person obviously, but this living force that's we're all connected to? And the more that because there's no Jedi left, is that why it's gone so weak and dormant in him? I'm not saying this is why, I'm asking, is that a possibility?
So it like lurks, it's there, but they just can't like access it really. It's not really upside down.
He stands. Yeah, that's funny. That motherfucker just goes stands. I wasn't trying to interrupt you, but Cody just sent that.
No, I just realized that I'm sitting here and I'm currently watching through Stranger Things, and I was about to say that like the Force is like the right side up, and then I was like, no, I can't do that, but I guess I just did.
So you're saying that the dark side is the upside down?
No, I'm saying I guess so. Yeah, the dark side is the upside down.
It is pretty cool. I think there's a YouTube thing or something I've seen before where they try to say that the Jedi are the ones who are bad guys. Have you seen that theory?
I've seen that. Absolutely. And that's interesting because it makes a compelling argument, actually.
Yeah, it's kind of like saying that, it's the whole Johnny Lawrence was actually the good guy. It's because Daniel LaRusso stole his fucking girl, man.
That's so stupid.
Or like Scar, like, I mean,
you would do that. Bring up some like.
I mean, think about it though. Like, wouldn't you hate your nephew too if he just ran around telling you, "I can't wait to be king, bitch"? Because, he can't be.
He's like, that asshole always rubbing it in my face.
His family already named him after a birth defect. It's messed up, bro.
Like, we should do? We should do a Dateline episode between Scar and Mufasa.
Bro, they need to have some stuff
how it all went down. And get Keith Morrison to narrate it.
Okay, so Clint, so what is it? So when you watched episode 1, not episode 2, which was clearly better because episode 2 had that reveal of Obi-Wan not even realizing that Anakin survived. But when you watched episode 1 and I think it ended with them kidnapping Leia and then trying to convince him to go out and
it ends with him walking out to get on the
with the saber,
and you see the saber on his side.
He's going to unbury his lightsaber. It's kind of like how Rey buried her.
That's right.
So I mean, was that? I mean, what did you think when you first watched episode 1?
I can actually tell you. Hold on one second. Because I was texting Jason Phillips, I don't know if you remember him or not, during it, where I said, first 5 minutes of the Obi-Wan series is a recap of the prequels that makes them look like the greatest franchise ever.
Yeah.
Bro, the first 10 minutes alone, he's like, fuck yes, I'm starting it. Just finished first episode. Best television pilot I've ever seen. Not kidding.
Lie.
I don't know if it's best television pilot I've ever seen. I really, really enjoyed it. But
I don't know. That was my live reaction. I mean, obviously I've had time to, kind of back off of that.
When you're in the moment, I know what you're saying.
That's a very bold statement to say that. Best pilot of a TV series you've ever seen. Did you watch a lot of TV?
Think about I do some, but I mean, let's also think about pilots. Like, how often is a pilot really that great?
These days, these days the pilot's either awesome and the show sort of dies down, or the pilot's really good and the show picks up steam. That's usually how it works.
Like I think Mandalorian picked up steam.
I do too.
Mandalorian was a slow burn, and
except for the Grogu moment when we actually see for the first time, which everybody only knew as Baby Yoda. That was a moment of me actually watching it on my couch by myself, being like, "Oh shit, that's genius!"
Yeah, for sure.
And I know universally everybody thought that.
Yeah,
and that's the last time I felt that way about Star Wars, as far as that's genius.
Man,
you know what I mean?
I felt that when when he pulled his lightsaber out of the ground. Okay, there you go. When he pulled his lightsaber out of the ground, dusted it off. He had Anakin's there too.
Yeah, but we've seen lightsabers before.
Yeah,
I had no idea there was another creature that was Yoda's species, and so for that, I just would have never thought that was what was going to be introduced into the Mandalorian show.
Well, that's not true though. If you remember the Phantom Menace, you saw what looked like a female Yoda, who was really old and sitting in the Jedi.
Right, that's true.
That is true.
Yoda.
I just didn't expect that you would ever see a baby one. I
guess what I'm saying is that you're about to watch Mandalorian. The last thing I'm thinking is that the key element to this show is a baby Yoda.
That's true. That's true. Man, that's true. It hit like a ton of bricks. That also made my child go from not really paying attention to
Well, my kid doesn't even know what Mandalorian is, but he knows what Baby Yoda is, and that's all they wanted. That's the marketing. That's all they wanted. They knew it from it.
They knew it. I mean, as soon as they had it, they knew it. They're like, yes. And usually, that's the greatest things when something simple like that happens in the show. That's what's so genius about it. It's because it's like people have been thinking too hard of what we should do. Sometimes it's as simple as what if there's a Baby Yoda? It's like. I mean, if you could have been in the writing room when they came up with that idea, you know what I mean?
The pitch meeting? Exactly. Yeah. You know what? Actually, guys, spoiler alert.
Wait, real quick, before you get started on that, what Cody's saying, he's 50 damn years old. Is he talking about Yoda?
Yeah, he's talking about Yoda.
Yeah, he's talking about Baby Yoda.
Which is still a baby.
Yeah.
Hey, let me quote
Yoda, and that species.
Age ain't nothing but a number.
That's right. But hey, I interrupted you, though.
No, I was just going to tell you that it was kind of a joke that's probably ruined by now, thanks to timing. But I was going to tell you when we get into the room and we do the pitch meeting for the limited series, I really want to bring up putting another Baby Yoda into it, guys.
Oh,
can he be the guy pulling the strings on everything from behind?
It'd be awesome. All of a sudden, it's revealed, and just the hood pops up. It's a little Groguette.
We can change him just enough to where we can't get copyright on it. I promise you.
These guys will
just making gray.
These guys
making gray.
These guys will buy it. They'll be like, "That sounds like genius."
Yeah,
and we're like, "We're just kidding."
Who is Infant Gatto?
That's so funny.
Bro, what about, hold on, let's completely change gears because this made me think of something. Surely the people in this room have seen this too. Thoughts on the Winnie the Pooh?
Oh, dude.
Oh, yeah.
That is craziness, right? And the fact that it's actually being done. I actually started doing more research on it, and it's Winnie the Pooh has lost
very much real.
Yeah, they've. Disney's lost, but that's the same reason that that Cinderella movie got made recently on Prime or something like that or whatever, because they lost the rights to that. All those old school Disney movies weren't Disney ideas; they were just adapted things. Not until later on did Disney start making actual original movies.
Well, I think
only very recently done that because Frozen's original, but even Mulan and stuff aren't original.
Yeah, I think that what we need to do is start looking at when Disney loses the rights to Snow White, and we can have it where the 7 dwarfs are fucking serial killers.
What about the 7 dwarfs are actually prostitutes, and Snow White's their pimp, and the evil stepmother's the good guy, trying to stop the sexual crime in her city.
Snow White and the 7 Gigolos.
Exactly.
This has gone on too long.
Yes, it has. This is a Star Wars. So going back to episode 1 and 2, how much more do you think we're going to see Vader in this? Like, obviously,
I was about to ask. Okay, so the very end of episode 2, when Anakin, it's revealed that Anakin, or to Obi-Wan, that Anakin survived. Because Reva's like, Anakin Skywalker lives and he's looking for you. And then she can sense that he didn't know that, and so then it ends with him going, Anakin, and then him opening his eyes and that underwater, whatever you want to call it.
Bacta tank?
The what is it?
Is it a Bacta tank?
Yeah,
That's
I don't know.
The only thing that I got from the Book of Boba Fett was the name of that device. So
it makes me wonder. There's so much stuff that was revealed, and the fact that he didn't realize that Anakin had survived. Number one is it's been 10 years, and there's still no rise of Darth Vader yet, because Obi-Wan would know that. He would know that Darth Vader is ruling, is
making his waves.
Is making his waves, and he didn't know that. Number two, is he still in a state where he's not always in a suit, and he needs this kind of thing, this underwater thing for his body, and number three, by the time they get to A New Hope, is he now at a point where he can be in a suit every day?
No, I think that he always has to go and be re-maintenance, like RoboCop. Like, after every time he goes out and does a bunch of shit, he has to come back in, rejuvenate, do his thing. Because even in Empire or in Return, which one of them, they walk in on him and you see the back of him, and that dome thing is coming up, and he's like getting his helmet on.
Yeah,
and he's turning around. So I think that if you want to really dive in deep to it, super nerd, he probably has the full resting rejuvenation mode submerged in the water. Then he probably has the cool down time afterwards, where he's actually drying and doing all that. Then the time where he puts his fucking shit on, and you know what I mean? Like, and so when in Empire or Return, when we saw him doing that, that was probably the last stages of him getting ready. Whereas when we see him in this tank, that's probably him like fully in rest mode. I mean, that's just me, my nerd brain thinking about it.
Yeah, I'm very curious about what they're going to do with that whole thing. And does the suit evolve from here until A New Hope?
No, because it looks exactly the same.
I don't know, man. Because I mean, they're showing you like put his like robot arms on him, and
that's underneath the garment.
I got some really good news.
He's got robot arms.
I know, but it isn't. I never thought about them having to like twist him on like you see that in that clip in the trailer.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what they do with him, because I mean he don't have them at the end. I think that he's going to be like RoboCop. They put him together. He gets put together every time, recharged. They repair whatever's ruined because it's not organic. It's parts. The only thing that's really organic is kind of his torso and his head. But what I was going to say about Darth Vader is he going to be in the rest of this show a lot? Or is he just going to keep appearing at the end of every episode, and then we're going to have a fight?
No. I don't see that happening, because they obviously are leading up to a showdown of Obi-Wan and Darth Vader, and I don't think that they would just have him finally appear in the full episode of episode 6. I think that in fact, I'm going to bet money that episode 3 focuses more on Vader than it does Obi-Wan.
That'd be awesome. I'd love that.
Because it ended. What is he doing here?
The RoboCop rights are up for grabs, guys.
Well, they've been talking about making a sequel to that first RoboCop remake, which I think is really badass.
How about a RoboCop that goes rogue and it becomes a
RogoCop?
RogoCop. Yeah. And this time he's for real.
Just as long as we can call the sequel the Wreck-It.
Only one man can save humanity from RogoCop.
Yeah. Out of all we went with RogoCop.
Dude, the bar scene where everybody's like, we keep going back to, everybody meets up, RoboCop and Baby Yoda bust into it.
Yeah. Dead or alive, you're coming with me.
You're supposed to be dead.
The worst part is there's only there's only like one other person who would even understand what we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Hey, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised at some point if we start. So one fun thing that I was playing my Guardians of the Galaxy game the other day, which is a badass game on PS5. They go into this little room of someone's. It's like a little cubby area, and they have a Chewbacca toy. So obviously Disney owns Marvel and they own Star Wars, so they can do all whatever. But like, do you think there's ever a chance that the Guardians cross paths with something in the Star Wars universe, or are the Guardians already up in the Star Wars universe? They just don't ever talk about it, and they just haven't crossed paths with some other Jedi. Or that's the thing.
Man, I hope so.
I mean,
That'd
do
be
you think they
cool.
do it? You know, they did an Alien and Predator movie, you know, back in the day, and that was always a comic book. And
Well, I mean,
Freddy
I've
versus
watched
Jason.
Freddy versus Jason, yeah,
I've watched that superpower beatdown, and it has Batman fighting Vader.
yeah. I mean, those are all fun to watch. But I'm just saying, would they ever do something that would be plausible? Like Guardians of the Galaxy would make sense. You know what I mean?
Or Thor.
Something like that would
I
make
think
sense.
someone would have better luck writing a comic about that and getting away with it.
And they probably have.
Yeah.
It's just like having when
Man.
they had the Avengers and the Justice League crossovers. It's just like, well, this is kind of weird.
Where they had Superman able to lift Mjolnir.
Oh, that's right.
Man. Okay, so guys, tell me. Excitement, scale of 1 to 10. Let's give a couple of these. Excitement for the rest of the series, scale of 1 to 10.
My excitement for the rest of the series is at an 8 right now.
Yeah, mine's at an 8. I was literally going to say an 8. Just
Okay.
because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't expecting the childlike element of Leia's like being such a dominating presence and that bubbly attitude.
And like you said, that's how you know it's Disney. I mean, I don't know how else to explain it, but that's how you know it's Disney.
But it's not ruining it for me. It's just what's
ruining it.
taking it from a 10 to an 8.
Yeah, it's not ruining it yet.
No, it's not ruining
Now,
it.
if she's like this and it's in every episode, and she's like, Vader, no, don't hurt him, then I'll be like, get her out of here.
I mean, they did do a good job. I meant to say this earlier. They did do a good job of portraying Leia as a smart, as a very intelligent young girl who just happens to be a brat. And I can just
James Earl Jones's voice going, "Where's her iPad?"
Yeah. What was it? Lola? Lola was her little droid, which I like that thing.
Oh yeah, that was cool.
And I got a picture of it somewhere.
Hey, I read a book to my 3-year-old. One of the books I read to him is called Darth Vader and Son. And I tried desperately to do the Darth Vader voice, the James Earl Jones voice, every time I'm reading that. It's pretty cool.
Have you guys ever seen any of the Star Wars bad lip readings?
Oh, those are really funny.
Those are priceless, man. Priceless.
Okay.
Oh, look at this. Cody says he's 9.5 excited. He says they still got wood. Yes.
Man, I'm with Cody, man. y'all are crazy. This is gonna be amazing, guys. This is gonna end.
Next episode it could turn into 10. I'm just saying at this point, this is where I am with it.
I'm telling you right now, the tea leaves,
great.
The tea leaves are telling me that we're about to see the best Star Wars has been over the course of the next 4 episodes.
Now, are we going to get more Kumail Nanjiani because of what happened to him? Because remember, he gave up where he was just by her reading his mind. Reva, the third sister.
Huh.
And this time she's for...
The reckoning. Like, that's all I want, man. Like, can we just please get a reckoning? Please.
Hey, what about the Dead Reckoning preview for Mission Impossible?
You know what? That's my new demand from YouTube. Some movie y'all make at some point has to have the subtitle The Reckoning. And I think it would be hilarious if it was actually the first one.
We'll hire Larry the Cable Guy and it could be called The Reckoning, I reckon.
No. That's the sound of it falling flat.
Oh, that was a fantastic joke. Thank you.
That's totally gonna land.
Great joke.
Okay, so y'all got that. How awesome do you think there'll be? Give me an over/under. Let's say 2 fights, over or under Darth Vader and Obi-Wan.
Well, first off, regarding the fights, before we do this over and under, now there's clearly a different fighting style in the prequels than there was in the original films and in the sequels.
Mm-hmm.
And the prequels, they were like master ninja samurai swordsmen on acid.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong. It's like
flipping things everywhere.
Yeah.
Whereas the other ones were a little bit more like they're using heavy swords and really sword fighting kind of. But so are Vader and Obi-Wan, considering that we've seen a Vader in other movies fight the old school way, and we've also seen Obi-Wan fight the ninja way. However, he's older and worn out. And Andrew brought up a point. Vader's in a suit. Does that restrict him from moving around like that?
I don't think he can be nearly as agile as he was as Anakin in Revenge of the Sith fight when he's in the suit.
Know.
But the point
I hope we see like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Jedi. Like I want it to be the greatest thing ever. Like
there's I don't think that's going to happen.
I wouldn't mind a hybrid.
I think it's going to be. I think Oh, that's a good word, hybrid. I think there's no reason to show why Vader couldn't do like what he was doing in Rogue One, where he's using he's using a lot of the Force at the same time he's doing this, but he's also he's going to be fighting Obi-Wan, who's also going to be using the Force. I think you're going to see a lot of Force use with along with Saber stuff.
More like the Emperor and Yoda's fight.
Yeah. That's my prediction.
That could be cool.
Dude,
I just hope he jump up and dodge something that Vader throws at him, and I want him to dodge it by doing the splits over it while holding his lightsaber.
I just don't want it to be anticlimactic, man. I don't want it to be this whole buildup of what we all know is coming, which is an Obi-Wan and Vader rematch, and it's 5 minutes of a 45 minute episode. That's going to be an epic failure in my mind.
Yeah, I want a whole episode of them fighting, honestly.
Yeah.
And they can do that. They can make it happen. I mean, look at the ending of Revenge of the Sith. I mean, that fight's epic, dude.
Oh, for sure.
I want it to be, is it going to take place in multiple locations? Do you think that they're going to be like fighting like while traveling like in open air, like on
kind of like on Revenge of the Sith? They're floating on that lava, then they're jumping on this thing, and then they're having to jump on the mountain.
Well, they started where that ship was, where he was, crying about Padme, and then it evolved. Yeah, I think a really cool thing would be that they a little bit of a pre-fight happens in episode 5, and then episode 6 they cross paths again finally.
Kind of like Bane and Batman and the Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah, there you go.
So I'm doing 60-40 Obi.
I like that. I love that idea.
What about you?
What is the question? 60-40 Obi? Like that he wins?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it depends on what you define as a win.
Well, I'm just saying 60% chance that Obi wins, 40% chance that Darth wins.
Well, the question is, for me, is what constitutes a Darth Vader win?
I think Darth Vader will beat him down the first time they meet, and then Obi-Wan will come back and pull it to a draw.
With Stark Tech.
Yeah, basically. He's going to like put on his Falcon costume.
Yes. I love it.
I think I'm going to say 60-40 Vader. And I'm going to say that it's not Vader. It's obviously not Vader killing Obi-Wan, because we know that that's not going to happen.
Of course.
At least in this, but
who's going to be a clear winner in the battle?
But I think that the clear winner is going to be Vader. And I think that forces Obi-Wan to go further into his reclusiveness for the next 15 years before A New Hope, because he just lost his chance at a rematch to finally defeat Vader, and he didn't do it. Just like Yoda didn't do it against the Emperor. And he says, into what is it when Yoda loses to Palpatine in Revenge of the Sith?
Oh yeah, and he's like, into hiding I must go.
Into hiding I must go. And I think that might end up being something that Obi-Wan says in this. Like, I just had a chance at a rematch to end this, to bring him back to the good side, or to kill him once and for all, and I couldn't do it. I got to go deeper into hiding and never come out.
I think there's going to be a choice involved. I think there's going to be
and I have to age 60 years.
Right? Yeah.
You were the chosen one.
Yeah, you. Yeah, so I've got the high ground.
Just as long as we don't hear him say no again. Like,
it's like, was that Kermit the Frog? No.
Sipping his tea.
Yeah. They're while that movie had such epic moments, there are a couple of moments where it's like it's almost like when Darth does that, it's almost you can like just like, okay, you guys ruined it right here.
In Revenge, when he breaks out, when he's formed completely, and he breaks out. Dun, dun.
Yeah, it's like Frankenstein's monster.
They actually recorded that. They recorded that during the initial screenplay reading when James Earl Jones read the script. He was like, "No."
Oh, that's funny. So,
all right. So, what do you got then?
Yeah, we got to. What do you got? And we'll wrap this up.
All right, cool, man. I think that we're going to see 2 fights. I think that Vader's going to win the first one. Obi-Wan is going to severely be injured, but claim, because I think that Vader is going to take Leia hostage. And
I see. That's where I think something like that's going to happen. I think there's going to have to be a choice that Obi-Wan's going to be making.
There's no way he can't have any involvement.
She is so familiar with Leia. She is so familiar with Leia in the New Hope, bro. Like the way she talks noise to him, she has obviously spoken to that man for a while.
Or so maybe he's trying to get Leia so he can bring her to the dark side.
He doesn't know who she is,
but he knows she's Force sensitive.
He knows she exists.
Okay, he doesn't know he doesn't know that she's his daughter, but he
knows she's Force sensitive. Okay, yeah.
No, I don't even think he knows that.
But he knew that Padme had 2 kids.
Did he?
Yeah, no.
He knew she was pregnant, right?
Yes, he knows she's pregnant, of course.
But he didn't know they're twins.
That's right.
He didn't know they're twins, and he didn't know they were even delivered.
Even though they can light speed skip in that time period, they don't know how to run sonograms.
He didn't know she had those babies. He didn't know she had those babies. I promise you, he did not know she had those babies.
He thought she died.
My heart, Anakin.
She says, because the Emperor
says me like you did on Naboo.
In Revenge of the Sith, when he's finally coming to as Vader, he says, "Where?" In the James Earl Jones, "Where is Padme? I felt it. She was alive." He's like, when he says it, the Emperor says, it seems in your anger you have killed her. And he's like, "I felt it. She was alive. How could this be?"
Yeah, yes.
So he had no idea she ever delivered those babies.
That's true. Hey, but information could come to light, Maybe he caught some news one day. Maybe he had SNN on.
I think he obviously knows who Leia is as time passes because she becomes a princess. She's of royalty.
And then maybe he realizes she's Force sensitive.
Does he though? Because it's never really something that we feel that he knows about.
Oh, but yeah, because the dark side is strong with you. I feel when they feel there's something, the disturbance in the Force, Master. I think they sense that stuff.
The disturbance in the Force always happens when you start realizing that you have the Force. She never did.
She's
at least when
that was forced. Do you think that was like forced upon her though?
No, but I'm saying that doesn't she have midichlorian count like Anakin did? If she's got Jedi in her.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you're right. You're right about that. But it's just something that's never talked about in the original trilogy.
Oh, there's so much shit that's never talked about in the original trilogy.
You only hear about midichlorians or whatever that word is in Phantom Menace.
Yes, I know. Which at this point, that's early in the franchise.
I know. Exactly. That got but midichlorians got abandoned pretty quickly, man. They kind of got abandoned like Leia.
Did we just abandon the whole thing? All right. Well, look. So you're definitely obviously excited. You guys want to recap this after episode 3 and 4, or just episode 3? You want to do one after every episode? We can do it.
I'll be here every week, man. I'm that amped about it.
You see that? Bottom right. You see that shit? What does that say? What does that say real quick? What does that say?
I don't know. I let me see. Block user is what that says. So he says, so what does Andrew write about? What is he saying you're right about?
I don't know.
Oh, he just likes that. He just wanted to hear he was right about. So he'll chime in a second and let us know what you were talking about.
Hey, but Andrew, I just got a $50 cash app. Was that supposed to go to somebody else?
You're lying.
To pay for the Andrew is right comment.
Oh, hey, boom. Hang on a second. I gotta have this thing ready more often because this thing is really.
So for anyone who's going to watch later or watching now, this gentleman Clint, who is accompanying us tonight, is. You got fart jokes on there too?
I think I do.
Clint is helping us with our producing for Late Court, and he's helping design the poster for us, and he's helping do a lot of marketing for it. And there's a good chance that things have to move forward with us with this short film that he is has a lot of say in, and he's collaborating with us and a lot of future stuff. So that's why he's
We are super excited, man. For all you guys that don't follow me on Instagram, Clinto Darko on Instagram, but definitely keep your eye out because the three of us and my currently wounded soldier partner, she texted me this morning and was like, I think I woke up with the flu because I slept with the air conditioner on 70, but she's been at the beach with her daughter. So they're flying back, I think, tomorrow. And so I'm pretty sure I'm going to get hit with a laundry list of things to catch up on, but I know that one of the very first things that we're doing this week is we've got a couple meetings regarding you guys with some projects that we've got in the air. So it's going to be good, but it's going to be strong. I mean, we've been under the knife for the last month, as y'all know, dealing with this platform, trying to get everything launched. And I mean, oh my God, guys, the headaches that I've encountered in the last 3 weeks, I didn't even know existed. I did not even know existed.
Yeah, you said you were freaking out over some stuff a little bit, but that's all right. It's only normal too when big things are happening.
That's right, man. But we're excited. We're going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff. One of my favorite things we got going, I'm just going to go ahead and announce it now. It's going to be Andrew and Bobby's movie part 2, The Reckoning. It's going to be.
Bitch. you segued properly into that to where you had everybody believing.
Oh yeah, so. You thought long and hard about that one.
Well, hey, dude, I appreciate you joining us, brother. As always, let's do it next week after episode 3.
Hell yeah, man! I'm in.
Sweet, right. Man. Well, hey, be cool, stay in school, and hey,
much love, man.
Yeah, for sure, man. We'll talk soon.
Later,
tell Gabby hello.
Oh, my fault. Didn't mean to cut him off like that, but
dick.
Yeah, I didn't mean to be a dick. Well, guys, anyways, thank y'all for choosing as your entertainment tonight, which I'm sure it was like 2-3 people maybe, but love you to death. And also, if you enjoyed the video, click on the like button. And if life gives you lemons,
mix them up, fresh popcorn.
Oh yeah.